EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. It's opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor and getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, what are you thinking about on this approach here at the fifth?
Once again, with a good drive, you're left with a scoring club. By that I mean a short iron. Gives you a lot more options and a lot more flags you can go at. Even with a flag in the back left, with a scoring club in hand, you can virtually just go straight at that. The ball will not kick too much once it hits the green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Which has been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Now at the sixth hole here at Banff Springs, it's a short par 4, only 373 yards. And the short par 4, Frank, all the rage in golf course architecture these days.
A lot more strategy involved when you've got a hole that you can nearly reach with a tee shot. It's how far back do you leave it, what sort of distance you want that second shot. All those things to compute. Straightforward, a little bit uphill. Basically, it's what you want for your second shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, you have to be thinking about birdie here on this approach shot at the sixth, Frank.
A good aggressive tee shot, pretty close to the narrow neck of that green. Awkward whether you try and hit a little pitch and run or try and hit a lofted wedge and sort of pitch that ball a little closer to the hole.
Very solid right there. 8 feet away. Well played. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Wow, I thought he made that. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Drops it, and he's at even par. Now to the long par 5, 7th hole, 602 yards, Frank. They call it hoodoo.
Yeah, it's nothing for a little muscle man. Bust one up the tee there. Well, actually it is. You're going to need 2 of your best if you want to reach this par 5 and 2. So, start with a good one. Oh, it's fine.
It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, just for birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Still playing even for the day after the par. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. You just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Frank, what's ahead after missing the par 3 here?
A tricky little shot coming up, but really this is a difficult par 3. So if you can get this up and down, it still won't be a lost cause.
Pretty good shot right there. So they'll tap in. And he makes it for par. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5. Interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one, not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one, you have to be a little bit careful, though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s.
Well, Frank, what do you like here? Second shot to this par 5.
I like just the general terrain, Rich. Even though the water's on the right side, you want to keep away from that, which actually makes that ball go towards the general upslope of the green.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. A former college #1 makes another birdie. Frank, they gave us a great show today.
No, they certainly did. Course played well. You got what you deserved out there.
Some outstanding performances. And for our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today, it's live second round coverage of the Alberta Classic. On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good looking shot right here. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Trying to stay steady, make a par. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, what are we looking at here at the par 4 12, 442 yards?
Players are really focused on that bunker down the left side. That's the one that has to be either laid up, which would be 286 yards off the tee, or sort of worked off. This could very well be a 3-wood off the tee. Just hit it straight at that left bunker. What a great shot.
Dialed in now for this second shot here to the 12th hole, Frank.
A chance for another birdie, Rich. Just be a little aware of this green. Nice little rolls and contours and different levels. So just be aware of exactly where that flag is cut today. And just try and keep it on that section.
Birdie try up next. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par, currently.
That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Par 3 13th, it's 225 yards. Frank, you happy walking out of here with a 3?
Yeah, take a 3, go to the next hole, unless it's match play.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Well, at last, a birdie. Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right. So the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. A nice birdie to move to 3 under par for the tournament. And Frank, ahead on the green, you could have a really crazy putt if you're not careful.
This is probably the most undulating green on the golf course, so you do not want to be going in with too flat a second shot.
Good contact, good result. Frank, you've played golf all over the world. what are your impressions of Banff Springs?
It's nice, Rich. I was actually in Calgary many a year ago, and I'm disappointed I never got to play the Banff golf course. Getting to see it today, it's one that I would have put on my bucket list.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That will be a great look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. In the hole and a birdie. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live third round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Set now for the second shot, par 4, fifth.
Just be aware of where the flag is. If it's cut in that front section, you definitely want to carry the front of the green. Hole is a little more difficult when they start to push that flag in the back left. You can see it narrow up there.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Right in the heart. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 sixth hole, reasonably short at 373 yards, a lot of golfers arrive at a hole like this and they'll think, well, I'm just going to blast it away because it's such a short 4. You think these kinds of holes require a little more thinking?
They certainly do, Rich. If you can't drive it to the front edge of the green, there's no point really trying to hit it through that narrow neck. You can just sort of knock a 3-wood down there, or something that's going to give you a decent yardage where you can at least spin that second shot. You can guarantee that ball's going to stop when it lands. It's going to be much easier than trying to fashion some sort of pitch and run.
Good swing, good shot yet again.
It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Now to the long par 5 seventh hole, 602 yards, Frank. They call it hoodoo.
Yeah, it's nothing for a little muscle man. Bust one up the tee there. Well, actually it is. You're going to need 2 of your best if you want to reach this par 5 and 2. So, start with one.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
Frank, a chance to get home in two here on this par 5?
You would think so after a good tee shot, Rich. A very long, narrow green. The best shot would be to hit a nice, high, towering second shot, but anything that pitches on the front is going to skip forward.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Sizable putt from 16 feet. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
Always take that. Good par putt right there. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards. It's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of chute of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there. About 315 yards.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. I tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. This is a good-looking shot. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. That wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. 3 rounds in the books. Outside the top 10 going to the final 18. Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're going to have to approach the final round in a couple of different phases. Try and be aggressive early on. If you do get a few birdies in the bank, you really still can fancy yourself with a chance to win. It'll all depend on that start tomorrow.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Alberta Classic. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. Now on the top 25.
Moving on to number 16 now. It's a par 4, 414 yards. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
It's another hole that'll favour a nice sort of high draw off the tee. It'll set up that second shot to a green that has got several different levels on it.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Here now the second shot. It's 120 yards. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards, a par 4 that is, you know you're going to get a short on your iron. You know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. Green does slope back to front, so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Down, little Sheba, down. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable from that distance.
Well, Frank, this sets up for an exciting finish here at Banff Springs, a 578-yard par 5.
There's just about a bunker in play for every length of tee shot here, so know exactly which one you can carry and exactly which one you cannot reach.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in. All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Frank, we did see some good golf out there today, but others really struggled.
Yeah, any competitive player wants to win. We don't doubt that, but we know you're not going to win them all. So it's still important for every golfer to continue to gain experience, to actually get something out of each and every tournament they play in.